Thank you for joining us today, where we're launching the Mental Health Whitepaper from EML and Monash University.
It's such an important conversation for Australian workplaces.
EML commissioned the research and developed this white paper because it's really important to actually understand what the evidence base is saying with regard to how to affect better outcomes for people with mental health issues within the workplace.
So the research really describes the burden of mental ill health that we have in workplaces in Australia. More than 4 million workers who are reporting mental health conditions, which is nearly 30% of everyone in the workforce, and that only a small proportion of those people are really making their way into our workers' compensation schemes.
0.33%. Would have thought that the rate of claims would have been much higher than that.
Surprising, even though I thought it was going to be very low.
We see that women bear a disproportionate burden of mental illness in Australia, that there's this wave of young people with high prevalence of mental health coming through and entering our workforce now, and that some industries like healthcare and education have lots of workers who are really suffering with depression and anxiety and stress at work.
In my organisation, in particular in healthcare, being a female predominant workforce as well, where we know that the burden is higher, is something that we really need to look at with our young female workers.
I think for the first time, we have guidance for employers that talks to what is the issue, how do we actually break it down by industry or demographic to make it relevant to their workplace, but then it offers some practical solutions.
A leader's role in mitigating psychological risk really comes down to connecting with your staff, making sure you're understanding where their well-being is at, and as soon as you, as a leader, become aware of some of the issues, you need to think about how you're going to manage that.
I think senior leaders need to not be afraid that leaning into this conversation is going to in some way break the way that organisation is functioning, but is actually going to improve the way the organisation is functioning.
We really hope this information starts really great conversations in workplaces all around Australia and gives employers a chance to effect some long-lasting change to improve the quality of work for their workplaces.